Hi, you guys. It's your girl, Martina the Diva. I know it's been a while since I've been on here because, your girl been living life. But I just wanted to come on here and kind of give an update on what's been going on with me. Let me see if I can move this chair up. Okay, just a little bit. Okay, maybe that's right. I don't want to show y'all too much. Because my background ain't right. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of get on here and give you an update on what's been going on with me since the surgery, since my last update. Oh, you guys, it's been so much. And I just wanted to get on here and talk about what people are not talking about this surgery. And after you have it, what happens to your body, what continues to happen to your body, and how it essentially makes you feel. And I'm not going to say everyone, but this is my experience. So I'm just assuming that, there are some other people out there that may experience the same thing. So, if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and share this video. I'm going to try. Let me rephrase that. I am going to build my channel. I'm going to do better at, creating content and that people can use information and different stuff like that. So I am sorry to those who I just left in the dust and high and dry after the surgery. It's just, if people don't tell you, it is a lot that you go through mentally, spiritually, and physically, at least for me. So, okay, so what are we? We are about, I had surgery on March 6, 2021 in Dominican Republic with Dr. Bello. I know there are two Dr. Bellos, so let me be specific. I had surgery with Dr. Wavelis. Maybe I'm saying it right. Evelis Bello. In the Dominican Republic at her private clinic. I kind of just want to kind of start from the beginning and work my way down to where I am today. For those who haven't watched my other videos, or, and I know that I didn't really get into detail about everything because I didn't want to, first of all, I was healing. Second of all, I didn't want to really just put out shit that I didn't know, so I just wanted to make sure that it was what I experienced. And here we are. And plus I have real life, I have a job, I work, I hustle, I have all, family life, different things that goes on that just recording a video for you guys just wasn't at the forefront. You know what I mean? So I'm going to get better at that because I do want to share my experiences. That's why I created this page, this channel. So let's just get started on everything. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. All right, first things first, I went to the DR to Dr. Bello. I had the surgery. I was maybe like 140 pounds or so when I had the surgery. I had love handles, although I'm a small woman. I'm like 5'2", at my best day. And I wanted more of a physique type of, Coke bottle type of, for my size. And I had all these plans in my head of what I wanted and what I was going to tell the doctor and all that. But when I got there, it was already so much stuff going on before, I even got there. And I was initially planning on going by myself. I had arranged for the everything, the rides, the Airbnbs, the recovery houses, all of that I already had. Obviously, at the time, Dr. Bello was offering in her package, the recovery house was included. And it wasn't like it was going to change the price if you didn't want the recovery house. So I, just said, okay, whatever. But I didn't go to the recovery house initially when I first got there. When I first got to first of all, I live in Southern California, and then I had some family stuff going on, and so I had to go to Atlanta at last minute, and I ended up changing my flight from Southern California to DR, to Southern California to Georgia, then from Georgia to DR, because I just had to arrange stuff. So when I got there, initially I came by myself, but my friend was coming the next day because we worked. At first she wasn't coming, but we worked it out where she came. Or it happens, just so happened, stuff happens for her to come. Anyway, I'm sorry. Once I got there, I initially checked into it. I took I want to say either an Uber or a cab, I can't remember, from the airport to my Airbnb. Mind you, I booked all this stuff online, so I never knew what the Airbnb was, and it looked nice on the thing on the internet. And then I knew my friend was coming, so I was like, okay, I'm not going to worry about it. But we initially were going to stay in my Airbnb. And then when I got there, I'm like, what the hell is this? I've stayed in motels before. I've stayed in the hotels off the highway, before during traveling, because, that's all that was available. Or maybe that was what was in the budget at that time, because, hey, I've been traveling since I was younger. And sometimes that budget wasn't like the budget that the grown budget is today, So, and so when I got there, it was just, first of all, it was in the hood. It wasn't far from the clinic, however, but it was like, where the freak am I? And when I got there, it was just like, okay, let me just deal with this. So I walked in my room, in the place. It was this, I don't know if it was like, it almost seemed like an apartment building, but it wasn't a hotel. And that's what I picked it, because I figured like it was a hotel on the Airbnb. So I didn't know. So ladies, make sure you pay attention to that. Like, where is this Airbnb? Where is it in a hotel? Where is it located? Is it located in a safe area or a popular area, a tourist area? Because obviously areas matter. Although they may be 5 minutes away from each other, areas matter, because like I said, the Airbnb was like 5 or 10 minutes from the Dr. Bello's office, and I could have well walked there. And so I immediately looked at the room like, okay, no, this is not gonna work. I was afraid for my life actually in the area, because I'm like, okay, where am I? And good thing I didn't have all of the money on me at that moment, because I didn't bring the money with me. I figured that I can do the Western Union thing, or even Zelle. That's what I was actually thinking. So, but we'll get to that later. So I got there, I looked around, I kind of like, okay, just calm down and take what it is. You're in a different country, so that, you just gotta roll with the punches. And then I sat down on the bed, and the sheets were dirty, and it was just like, oh my God, I cannot do this. And again, the hotel on the Airbnb looked nice. It looked like it was just, little quarters or whatever. But it looked nice. It looked decent. And I didn't know the area at the time. So when I finally sat down on the bed and I saw that the sheets were dirty, I was just like, okay, I got to get out of here. So I immediately figured out what the Wi-Fi was. So, and I called my friend and I was just like, girl, you got to get us another hotel. Like, this ain't going to work. You're not going to want to be here. And, you know, we ain't going to be bougie, but we going to be bougie on this one. And so she was like, okay, I'm going to get on it. So I was like, all right, I'll see you tomorrow. Then I sat there for another moment. I went out on the little back where I opened the door on the little terrace or whatever, and I'm looking around and it's like, okay, where are you? There were people on the corner doing God knows what, and then there was some other stuff from doing God knows what, and I was just like, okay, this is not it. So I immediately called. After that, I called the host for the Airbnb, and I was like, okay, this isn't gonna work. I need this, and this to even sleep this night, but I'm not gonna stay here tomorrow. I will be checking out. And he was like, well, it's already paid for and blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, well, I don't even care. At that point, I didn't care. You can keep the money. Just know that I'm not gonna stay here, so you can do whatever you're gonna do. And so they did bring me new sheets, which really wasn't that much better. So I was just like, okay, this is just maybe their washer and dryer that doesn't work and properly, and that's what it was. So I didn't deal with that. I just, he remade the bed and he left and whatever. And so all that night I was on pins and needles, but I did sleep. And, I think I'm not sure if I ordered some food or not that night. And then, I was tired from the flight anyway. So I was just like, okay, whatever. And then, the previous days of being in Georgia. So I was just like, all right, whatever. And I laid down, and the next day I got up. My friend, came in, and then she checked us into the Renaissance near the beach. I can't remember the street, the road name, so please don't judge me. But it's the Renaissance in Santo Domingo. So once she did that, well, I had already checked out from my Airbnb around 11 o'clock that morning. And she wasn't supposed to arrive till like later on that evening, but I went to the Renaissance, told them who I was, and blah, 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 blah. And she had already let them know that I was staying there with her. So, they held my luggage for me until they let me check in. They let me check in the room. So that's what happened. I checked in the room. I, took a shower, a real shower, because let me tell you, the Airbnb, first of all, they didn't have hot water. And if you know anything about DR, they don't have hot water. But I'm thinking like this is an Airbnb hotel, so they had hot water. They did not. They had like one of those 5-gallon container things that you put in the water dispensers. And it was hooked up to some type of concoction that led, I'm assuming, to the bathroom. And that's how you had not even lukewarm water. So, and I had already did my research that I wasn't supposed to brush my teeth with the water that comes out the faucet or whatever the case may be. So I did take a shower that morning, but I still felt like ugh, because it wasn't a hot steamy shower that I'm used to. So, when I checked into the hotel, I did take me a shower. That was the first thing I did, and waited on my friend. And when she got there, we started to, I think we went to dinner. And then we just kind of relaxed for that night. And then the next day, because mind you, I got there, I want to say on March 3rd. I want to say that was the day. I have to look at my emails, but I think it was March 3rd when I got there. And I think the time that I was supposed to have surgery was supposed to be on the 6th or 7th, something. I don't know. The date wasn't really confirmed yet. But all I knew was that I was supposed to get there like 5 days before the surgery. But I kind of got there like, well, maybe I got there on the 2nd. Because I had the surgery on the 6th. So I think I got there on the 2nd. Once my friend got there, we went to dinner. I went to sleep. And then the next day, we got up to, move around. And so I could get the funds for the surgery before I would go and meet for my doctor's appointment. Because I had told Dr. Bello I was there and blah, 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 blah. And so I had an appointment to go and pay for the surgery on that Thursday. And so I'm running around, me and my friend, we running around trying to find Western Union or whatever. I thought I could do it on my phone. Well, first of all, we went to the consultation the next day once my friend got there. And they were like, well, they didn't take Zelle for the full payment or whatever the case may be. And they preferred cash, I think. They were like, you can do Zelle for other little miscellaneous things, but not for the full payment. And I think the full payment at the time was it was $4,700 or $5,200. One of the two, but I know all in all I ended up spending $5,700 or $6,000 with Dr. Bello. With everything that I spent with her. Just her. And then I went to the consultation. I didn't see Dr. Bello that day. I just talked to her assistant. I forget the lady name. And she was basically wanting a payment. And I was like, okay, well, do you take Zelle? And she was like, no, not for this payment, but for miscellaneous things, you can pay Zelle. I was like, okay, well, I will need to get the funds. So, obviously, they don't have a bank there, my bank. So I had to figure that out. And we ran around different banks because they was telling me that, yeah, you can go to this bank and get the funds from there. That was not the case. So do not let them tell you that you can go to a bank and get funds from that bank. No, they're going to give you pesos, and that's not what they want. They want the U.S. cash. This is in 2021 in DR, and I'm sure that's still the case until things change with the currency. So we running around bank to bank. That didn't work. So somebody suggested to me Western Union, and that's how I got on the Western Union tip. And so I went on the app and I tried to Western Union myself the money. I actually was trying to Western Union myself like $8,000, but it would not let me do it. It was saying that there was a limit and that I couldn't do it. So I called Western Union. They were like, yeah, blah, we're not going to be able to do it because I never used the app before or something. Something held me back from Western Union through the app. Or maybe there was a limit for the app itself that you can send. And I'm like, okay, I need this more than that. And earlier when I first got there, I had already went to before I left the airport, I had used my debit card to get cash off. And they charged me so much in international fees. It was just like, whoa. I can't do that no more. So I just got some, petty cash type of thing. And I had a little bit of cash on me. Obviously, it's at your discretion on what you want to do and how you want to go about this. I just chose my route because that was the safest way for me. And so I can really peep the scene. I'm a peep the scene type of person. So I wanted to know what I was getting myself into before I just went with all that money like that. So once we were able to figure out, okay, I can Western Union myself, but I won't have to go to one of the branches. We found where the branch was, and we went there. So now we have another problem. They don't have no Wi-Fi. My phone wasn't working, although I had told Verizon that I was traveling, where I was traveling, how long I was going to be there, and I paid for the for the international whatever for the phone. It still didn't work. My internet didn't work unless I was on their bullshit ass Wi-Fi. Excuse my language, and I hope this doesn't get dinged. But yeah, so they didn't work. My friend phone worked here and there, and she's with T-Mobile / Sprint at the time. When they were just transitioning over. So it was just like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Her phone was sporadically working. So we're standing there outside of the Western Union trying to figure this out. And then I think I asked the security guard. Mind you, these not regular security guards. They're not regular security guards. They're not the security guards that we see at the banks and the likes of the above. These people have machete, big ass, poop guns, ready for whatever. And I'm just like, yeah, Toto, we're not in Kansas anymore. And I'm just like, okay, what are we gonna do? These people standing here like they ready for World War V, and we don't even. Yes, I skipped 3, 4. Yes, I did. I'm smart, okay. But it's just like, okay, what the hell are we gonna do? What am I gonna do, rather? And so me being the resourceful person that I am, I think I started asking around. Next door, they was like, oh yeah, you can go next door and get some Wi-Fi. But when I went in the building, the Wi-Fi was not working. It was not working. And they was like, well, yeah, it doesn't work all the time. And so they pointed me to this guy that was, I think, working there at the time, this Haitian guy. And they was like, he knows how to get internet. Let him get you the internet. So I was like, okay, can you help me get internet? Where do I get internet? He's like, okay, yeah, come with me. I'll take you to get some internet. Like, he talked good English, all that good stuff. It wasn't like he didn't understand, because the other people didn't understand nothing. And he was able to translate for us, although he's Haitian. But he spoke whatever Dominicans speak, because I think they speak different languages. But don't quote me on nothing. I don't know. Hey, it is what it is. So he takes us around the building. Okay, literally. And I'm looking like, girl, where we going? And he's like, no, it's okay. It's okay. Come on. I'm trying to show you where the hot spot at. He kept saying hot spot. So he took us around the building, next door building from the Western Union where we were. And lo and behold, I was able to get Wi-Fi right behind the building in a certain spot. And I stood there until I got Wi-Fi. And that's when I realized that I couldn't even use the app to do it. So that was a bummer. At this time, I'm so fucking frustrated. I'm just like, damn, why didn't I just bring the fucking money? Just fuck it. Excuse my language. And then me and my friend trying to brainstorm. She was like, well, we can, I started trying to call my sister. I was like, can I Zelle you this money? And then you Western Union me the money? Because that's how we came up with a solution. And I think my sister was busy at the time. Mind you, I'm not a trustful person, even with my family. So it was just like hard for me to cuff up $8,000 to someone, not knowing if they really gonna send it to me. So I had to, people that I truly trusted. And then my sister wasn't able to do it. So, and my mama, I don't think she was mobile at the time. Although I don't really trust her either. But I love my mother though. I love her. We ended up getting my friend's sister to do it, which, you guys, when I tell you how risky this was, and it's all in faith that I had to have. Even at one point, we got into a spat, like, we chose to use this and they ain't sent it yet, and I don't know if they ran off of my money. Like, I was panicking. And so they were mobile. I was able to Zelle them the money. It took them a while to get it. Like I said, I panicked. But I was able to sell them the money, and then they went to Western Union it to me. And I think it cost maybe $100, a little bit less, something like that. But it wasn't that expensive to wire the money. It probably was less. And so she eventually wired the money. I got the money in US dollars. You have to be specific when you're there to make sure they know that you need US dollars, not the pesos, because they will give you pesos, okay? And so I got the money, and then we went back just because I didn't want to be walking around with all that money like that. So I went straight to Dr. Bello's office, and I paid them in cash. So I paid for the surgery. I didn't pay for the insurance because I had already purchased traveler's insurance. So please, ladies, and gentlemen, please get traveler's insurance before you leave, okay? Just to make sure that you're gonna be covered in the event of an emergency. So I'm gonna try to make this video about 45 minutes, but I'm probably gonna have to make 2. So it's gonna be a part 2, I guess. Anyway, and hopefully it uploads. Anyway, I went straight to Dr. Bello's office, paid for the surgery. They tricked me into paying for the medicine, but if you can just get the prescription and go to the pharmacy yourself, it save you a couple dollars because they do tax you when you go through the doctor. They know you don't know too much, but if you know what you're doing, I think I said that in my last video, ask them for a prescription and go to the pharmacy, or even ask them for the list of things that you need and go to the pharmacy because you don't need a prescription. And so I paid for the stupid medicine that I could have saved money on. And then I paid for 2 blood transfusions in the event that I needed them. And then I had to pay for, because I do smoke, and I have smoked cigarettes in the past. I don't smoke cigarettes now, but I used to a long, long time ago. And I told them that I was completely honest with them on everything that was going on with me. And I also went to my doctors before I left. Like my doctor, I had a full checkup and make sure that I was cleared for surgery before I left. And my hemoglobin was at a 13.6 when I arrived, or when I left for the DR. I did my labs and stuff probably like maybe 15, 30 days before I left, and just to make sure. And I didn't change any habits. Except for I stopped smoking tobacco products before, and I was taking all of my vitamins and different things like that before. So and I continued up to the point when I got to the DR, and even after the surgery. So I paid them for the blood transfusion and everything. So at this day, I think it was Thursday on this day. So they scheduled the surgery for that Friday. And they told me to be there at 5 o'clock in the morning, and to stop eating at they said 8, but honestly, you guys, I think we ate dinner around 10. That was the last time I ate. And then the next day I woke up, took my shower. I forgot. Well, I was actually thinking that I was going to be able to take a shower right before the surgery. So I didn't use this antiseptic soap that I had before surgery. So when I got there, I told them, I was like, hey, I didn't take the shower or whatever with the soap. They was like, it's okay. And then they ran all my tests and everything. You know, I did do the EKG. I also did the x-ray on my lungs to make sure, and then they did all the other tests that they do. And then I was there. I thought I was going to be early in having the surgery, but I got there at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I don't think I went into surgery until like 1 o'clock. So when I got there, again, I did all the tests and all of the other stuff. I saw the cardiologist and the lung specialist, and I saw the anesthesiologist. Now, when the anesthesiologist walked in the door, I was just like, I was taken back. I ain't gonna lie. I judged her. I'm like, okay, is she who? She's the doctor? And they said, yeah. And she looked at me like, yeah, I'm your doctor. Do you want someone else? But she didn't say that. But she was just like, yeah, don't worry. You're safe. You're safe. You're safe. And I was like, okay, I believe you. And at that point, I stopped the judgmental face. And then that's when they took me back. I saw Dr. Bello in quick glance, and as she was walking, going through the elevator, because at that time we were down on the first floor doing all the labs and stuff. As she was going on the elevator, I quick glanced at her. And then when they took me upstairs, I was just like, okay, what? I was nervous at that point. I was really just mute, for real. To be honest with you, I was just like, okay, I don't know what's going on. Why did I get myself in this? But I'm here. I didn't pay my money. Let's go. And I started praying. And then there was a male nurse that came in, mind you. I mean, he seemed to know what he's doing. The problem that I had is that he didn't use gloves. And I was just in shock of what I was about to do, that I couldn't even tell him, like, look, dude, I need you to put on gloves. And I should have been more worried about safety, but again, I'm saying all this because I know people don't talk about that shock factor. And that's why they give you the medicine to calm your ass down. And so he gave me the medicine to calm my ass down, and put the IV in and everything. And, I got undressed. I had already been undressed and in the gown. And then Dr. Bello comes in shortly after. And that's when she just started marking me up. Like, okay. And I think I said I want some hips, because I stressed that to her assistant. But it was just like, yeah, I need you to do this, and this, and this, and this, and this. Or I'm going to do this, and 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 this. She just marked me all up. Mind you, I'm still in shock. So I didn't even really say anything. I'm just like, okay. I don't even think I said okay. And so she left out the room, and then the nurse guy came back in, and he walked me to another room where it was this little bitty ass table sitting in the middle with a bunch of lights and other stuff in the background, and it was very cold in there. And I'm like, okay, what in the fuck have I gotten myself into? At that point, I really wanted to run out, but in my mind, I'm running out. But my body wasn't running out and able to say anything. So he walked me to whatever you want to call it. It's not a bed. It's a table, like a massage-like table. And so, small one too. He sat me on the bed, and then a bunch of other people started coming. I think I remember the anesthesiologist coming and putting stuff in my IV. And I remember the nurse saying something to me. He said something. They were asking me something, and I don't remember what it was, because at that moment is when I went out. I was gone. And the next thing I know, I'm waking up in the bed like it was done. And I'm like, damn, did I have the surgery? And the anesthesia affected me to the point where, as I'm trying to talk, I'm throwing up everywhere. There was a doctor there. It wasn't Dr. Bello, but there was a doctor there, and she was nice. She was very good. I have no complaints about her at all. The nurse, on the other hand, why were you even there? Because I think I saw her one time. But the doctor was on point, even when I, at one point I had nightmares. And I fell out the bed. Yeah. I had, and I guess the nightmares come from the anesthesia. I was having nightmares and I fell out of the bed. And the doctor was right there to damn near catch me. She didn't catch me, but she was right there because she heard me scream. She heard the shuffle of me falling. And no nurse was there. She never came. I never saw the nurse again, really, to be honest with you. Because I had a different nurse at that time when I woke up. Mind you, it was hours later. So I had a different nurse. And it was a female instead of a male. And so I told her to call my mother. She called my mom on FaceTime. Because I had told them what to do before. Like, okay, I need this person to be called when I wake up. And so call my mom, let my mom know I was okay. The whole time I'm throwing up and I'm out of it, but I'm talking. And then I called my sister. Well, and the doctor had already called my friend. So I knew my friend was on her way up there. Because that was for them to call her, for her to come when I wake up. And I called my sister, and I was just, and if I can figure out a way to put up the video when I woke up, I will, but, I think I did. I have to go back. I don't even watch my own stuff, y'all, so forgive me. If I didn't, I will, and if I have, then go watch it when I first woke up and, was able to talk. I think the Pedialyte popsicles that I had, they really helped a lot with, the nausea and stuff. So that really, really, really was an awesome thing for me to bring them. Because, and then I remembered to bring them and told the nurse to put them in the freezer for when I woke up. And they were frozen when I woke up. My friend came. She made sure I was okay and everything like that. She stayed for a little while and then she left because, I was going to be checked out the next day. And so the next morning, I basically, they were walking me around to make sure I was able to walk and wasn't weak or whatever. Oh, I forgot. I think I said this on the other video that when I woke up to a pint of blood dripping. And I did ask them, and I asked my friend to as well, ask them, how many did they give me? Is this my second one? And I remember the nurse saying that it was the second one. And that's important, and that's going to be important later on in this story time, okay? So I did wake up to blood dripping. So obviously I knew I lost a lot of blood, but me being the bleeder that I am, I knew I would. But I never asked about my hemo, and I don't know what my friend asked because I was out of it. And she was supposed to ask these questions, and I don't think she did. Okay? To be honest with you. So make sure that that's important. Maybe you can write it down for yourself to remember or to have these questions beforehand, hand them to the nurse and say, hey, can you write down these things so when I wake up, I can see this is what happened and I can remember what I'm told about, how much blood you lost, how much they put in you, how much fat they transferred in you, what was your vitals afterwards, what was your hemoglobin after the fact. All of these things are important, ladies. And that's what I think some of us come and fall short because some of us are just so happy for this new body and some of us just out of it and don't know what to ask. So prepare these questions beforehand and give them to your nurse So that way you'll know what happened during your surgery, and you'll be able to go back to that. Especially when you're coming back to the States, you'll be able to explain to your doctor what went on in the DR. So the next day I was released once they realized I was not weak or whatever. They put me in my faja, No, I didn't get in my second faja that day. So they sent me home, sent me to the hotel with my friend. She came to get me in the Uber. And so we went back to the hotel. And so the next day I had to go to get a massage. Actually, she came to the hotel. I had paid Dr. Bello's assistant nurse at the time to do my massages at my hotel. So I paid her separately. No, that probably wasn't what's supposed to happen, but it did happen, okay? That's between her and Dr. Bello, not me. So she came to my hotel to do the massage the next day, and she also put me in my second faja. So when she put me in the second faja, it was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. I was like, oh my God. But I felt better when I was tightened, because I felt like my skin was about to fall off. I felt like I was like, yeah. And then, trying to get up and down out of the bed was like, you got to have upper body strength. I don't care what nobody say. If you don't have it, you're not going to be able to make it. Because trying to get up, and as you're getting up and pulling your skin, or feel like I ain't going to say pulling your skin, stretching your skin. Obviously you're stretching your skin when you're trying to get up. It feels like your skin is falling off because your skin is trying to reattach already at this point. So, but it's like you feel that in between, like it's not attached. And it's just like, it's this burning sensation. It's this like, oh, what is this? And then I think like on my third or fourth day, I started feeling not only the burning sensation, I started feeling the itching. I started feeling the sharp electric pains that was just going everywhere where I had the lipo. And then I was just feeling like the tingling, itching type of sensation on my butt where the fat was transferred. So it was just like, oh my God, and then the faja being so tight, it was the worst. I was constantly like, oh my God, but I wore it. And I did sit. I had got I think I showed y'all in the previous video, the floppy pillow from Walmart. It was the baby pillow with the inside, not with the donut with the hole in it. It had the inside cushion too. So, because I wanted all cushion, I didn't want, because I'm a little girl, so I didn't want it to be leaning in any way. And so, I basically walked that with me anywhere I went. I don't care if we went downstairs to the restaurant, or we got in the cab to go here, or even doctor's appointment. I took it everywhere, and I sat on it. And so she stayed for about a week, and then she left about 8 days later. And then that's when I went to the recovery house. And I got my faja taken in maybe my second day at the recovery house. Mind you, when I first got to the recovery house, I didn't know what the hell was going on because it was so packed in there. The person that they were trying to put me in the room with didn't want me in there. So she had her stuff thrown everywhere. And I just walked in, and I'm just like, okay, this ain't what it is. I can't do this. Like, being a little diva, and that's what they thought I was, but that wasn't what I was doing. This woman had all her stuff thrown everywhere, and she wasn't welcoming in that room. And I didn't want to be in that room when I'm trying to recover with someone like that. But me and her actually ended up being cool in the end. But just that initial walking in that house, it was like chaos, and it was 1,000 degrees in there. So I'm like, okay, no, I can't do this. I'm already irritated, you know what I mean, from the surgery. But the owner came to me and she was like, I'm sorry, we'll fix it, blah, blah, blah. We'll put you here. They turn on the AC and let it blast in the room down at the bottom, the room that they changed me to. And, so she tried to accommodate me. So that calmed me down a little bit. But, I was just like, okay, this ain't it. And then my friend was still there because her flight wasn't until the next day. After the first day that I checked into the recovery house. So, but she went to Punta Cana at this time. So I had to call me not Punta Cana, whatever the little island, Balboa or whatever it is by the airport, not too far from the airport, whatever little resort place that was there. I can't remember. Anyway. She went there to be close to the airport for the next day. So, I went to visit her. I took me a Uber there because I needed to get out that house and went there. And I didn't get back to the recovery house until probably like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. So I was labeled as the girl that must know where I'm going type of thing. But they didn't know I have my whole friend here, and, we're very resourceful. So, mind you, when I was leaving her hotel that night, there was a curfew at the time. So we did get stopped by the people with the big old guns. And yeah, it was scary. It was scary just even traveling through that type of stuff, but me being, I'm a traveling type of person, so I know how to kind of like just shut the hell up when you're in a different country and just act like you don't know, because you don't want to be too boasty and all that other stuff. So me just shutting up is kind of like how whatever he told the Uber guy told the people with the big old whatevers, it worked because we got through. And so, I knew not to be traveling after a certain time, period. Even in the Uber. So my experience at the recovery house was all right. They fed you the same freaking food every day. And because I do have a diet restriction, like I don't eat beef or pork and that type of stuff. So, I had a diet restriction. So I was stuck with the rice and beans and chicken every day. Which was fine. And the owner did go and get me some fruits, so I had my own little private stash of fruits in my room, truth be told, and some stuff I did have in the refrigerator. But again, you couldn't brush your teeth, you couldn't bathe or nothing like that at the recovery house. So they would boil my water or whatever, and when the nurse from Dr. Bello would come to the recovery house to give me the bird bath and massage me, that's kind of like how they did it. And then at one point, if some girls, they got into it, and that was like the 2 days before I was supposed to be leaving. But that night just gave me, I'm just like, I'm so over it, because every night I was just so miserable with the faja and everything. And then these girls this night want to start this mess. And it was just a bunch of yelling and screaming and this and that. And I'm like, oh no, I got to get out of here. I just want to go home. So the next day I went to my doctor's appointment with Dr. Bello, and I'm like, okay, can I get my letter so I can go? And first of all, it took her forever to come down. Mind you, I didn't really talk to Dr. Bello much, but she was I can say she was on call when my hoo-ha swole up and I didn't know what it was a day after her surgery. And I panicked in the middle of the night. She answered her phone. She did not, because obviously at the Renaissance, I had Wi-Fi, so I was able to WhatsApp her. She answered the phone. If she didn't answer, she called back. immediately, you know, and I sent her a picture like, oh my God, what's going on? And she called and explained to me and told me what to do, like putting pressure on there. So I needed to compress that too, put a pad down there, and with some underwear to for a couple of days. And it worked. It went down. But it was just like, come on now, I need to know what's going on with me. I don't know. You haven't told me anything. And at that point, from the night before with the girls arguing, and you're not telling me nothing. And it took you 2 hours for you to come, 3 hours for you to come for my doctor's appointment. Oh, I was mad. I was pissed. I'm like, and at this point, I'm crying. I'm just like, look, I am ready to go. I need to get out of here. I'm done with this. Let me out of here. And it's like, well, you can leave, you can go. I'm like, am I even straight? Do you even know? You know, I was just upset at that moment because I'm just like, come on now, this got to be better. But then I had to remind myself, you are not in America, okay? So, they gave me the dumbass letter, but the letter didn't really mean anything because she didn't really sign off that I was healed to go. At this time, I was just so over it. I changed my flight. I paid $400. So again, changing flights, it cost me a lot of money just in changing flights. So $400 to change my flight to the next day instead of the day after. I did get wheelchair service, but that wheelchair, the lady just pulled me out in the middle and just left me there, and I almost missed my flight. So it was just so frustrating at that point. I knew that I needed to get home. Mind you, I was coming home by myself, so there was no one here to take care of me when I got here. And I had already arranged for my massage lady to come to my house to do my lymphatic massages. And so that's what my DR experience was. It was a hit and miss. On some moments were okay, and the other moments was like, I gotta get out of here. And I think that's with any country after you've been there longer than a week. You start to feel that way. At least for me. And because it was a surgery situation, it was just like, I'm so over it. I'm so miserable. I just want to do this. I just want to do that. And I can't. I just really wanted to take me a hot freaking shower. And you couldn't really do that after I left the hotel. Like, I was taking showers at the hotel after surgery. So when people say, oh, you can't take a shower after the surgery. Yeah, if you're at a recovery house, you can. But if you're at one of those hotels that is American hotels, like the Renaissance and the Marriott, you can take a shower. The water is clean to brush your teeth and everything. At least that's what we did, and that's what we were told. So I was able to take a shower at the hotel, but then once I transitioned to the recovery house, I wasn't able to take a shower anymore. And I was miserable at that point. I don't want no woman to keep bird bathing me, but I couldn't really do it myself because I was in a lot of pain. Like I was saying with they don't tell you about this pain that you go through. And some people be like, oh, I'm fine. They got a high tolerance. And I have a high tolerance for pain. But that was some pain that was just like, oh, my goodness. So the pain that I experienced and still the discomfort that I still experience to this day when it comes to this surgery, in the beginning, like I was saying, it was feeling like anytime I moved, I stretched or moved my arm like this, it was like someone was ripping my skin off. My skin felt warm at times and it felt tingly, like the shocking from the nerves, and it itched. The itching was so like, oh my God. And obviously, everybody's going to be different, but you're going to go through a little bit of this, and it's just your body healing. It's just your body trying to recoup from the trauma it's just been through. From what I'm told, my skin was trying to reattach. The nerve endings was trying to reattach. That's what my skin trying to reattach. That's where you get the itching and burning. And then the nerves is where you get the shocking from, like, feel like somebody's zapping you, zapping. That's from the nerves trying to attach. So that was a lot. So when I first got back home, I was not feeling good. I was in a lot of pain. And I ran out of medicine like 2 days afterwards. And so that third day, I just couldn't take another Tylenol. The Tylenol was not working. And I couldn't understand, even in the DR, my heart was beating real, real fast. But I just thought, I didn't think nothing of it in the DR. I didn't really start paying attention to it more until I got home. Mind you, when I was in the DR, I was walking around in the city. I walked from the Faja place back to the recovery house that I stayed in, the Roma recovery house that I stayed at. And that was like a half a mile or maybe even a mile. And I walked in the scorching heat, not knowing I shouldn't even been walking at all. So when I get back home, running out of medicine, not knowing why my heart is just beating out of this world, me being a hypochondriac that I am, I went to the doctor. I went to the emergency room. And I explained to them, like, I just had this surgery. I'm in a lot of pain, and my heart won't stop racing. And so the doctor was looking. He was a male doctor. He didn't know what the fuck. He's just like, I don't know what to do. And so he was just like, okay, I'm just going to run a bunch of tests. And for whatever reason, the nurses just, was just so infatuated with me. They were just coming in, trying to get their sneak peeks of what my ass looked like and what are the black and blue bruises that I had. Because mind you, 14 days later, I was still black and blue. And I am easily bruised, but this was not like, I didn't understand, why am I still black and blue? So I went to the emergency room and I was like a guinea pig. The nurses were coming in literally. I had one nurse, but there were 4 nurses attending to me at one time. And at one point, one of the nurses asked the doctor, once he started to examine me, so what does it look like? And he was like, oh, it's very swollen. It's very swollen and bruised. And he was like, it looks like it's going to pop. He was talking about my butt. And I was just bruised all over and stuff. And it was just like, oh my God. Like, I just give me something for some pain. I don't really care about all that, examining shit that y'all trying to pick me apart like a science experience. So the nurse who was my nurse, she was like, oh, I done went through this surgery before, so I know what to give you and blah, blah, I'm gonna give you the good stuff. When whatever she stuck in my damn IV worked instantly, I was like, instantly. So she goes in the outside talking like, oh, yeah, I just gave her something. She was like, oh, thank you. Instantly, her body, you can see it. She's feeling good now, which I was. I was feeling great at this moment. And so the doctor came in. He's like, I'm going to do all these tests on you and check your blood and blah, 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 blah. So he checked my blood. Come back. My hemoglobin, mind you, when I had surgery, it was 13.6. Mind you, I told you when I woke up, I had blood hanging, right? And they told me and my friend that they gave me 2 pints of blood. Or 2 bags of blood. What in the hell is going on, and why are you telling me that my hemoglobin is at a 7.5? And that's why my heart was beating so fast, because it's trying to produce the blood and blah, 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 blah. And that he needed to give me some blood. So I got another blood transfusion at the hospital here in Southern California once I got home. Mind you, they kept me overnight. to monitor me, because after giving them blood, they need to monitor me to make sure that I didn't have a reaction from giving the blood, for one. And then the nurse just kept pumping me with all types of whatever to make me feel, to the point where she couldn't give me the shit no more. They had to give me something to bring me down, because they like, we cannot continue to give her this stuff. But this woman was on it. So I appreciate you, Miss Nurse. And so, you know, the next day they released me with some Percocets, because that was the only thing that I could take that was actually making me feel good. Now, I did take some other medicine, naproxen. So I don't know if that is what caused my blood to drop. So that's why I never blamed it on Dr. Bello. I never said they didn't give me any this and that and the third, because I don't know if it was my own fault or if it was actually they told me they gave me this much blood and they didn't. I don't know. And because I know what I know now about the medicine that I was taking when I ran out of Percocets, that's what it was for me to not know. You know, so it's just like, all right, whatever. I don't know if it was them or me. Either way, I'm glad that I listened to my body and I knew to get up and go to the emergency room. I didn't call 911, but I did drive myself to the emergency room, and they kept me overnight until I was stable. And I was grateful for the doctors just, you know, wanting to use up my insurance. That's fine too. But he didn't know what to do, but he just thought on what he was taught. And it's probably saved me from maybe even my life. So I say all that to say, ladies, please listen to your body. Please understand that this surgery is major. This is not something that you can just take lightly. I mean, we see all the time of these women dying from this. And then, you know, you see Jackie O and what just happened with her and other women, you know, Kanye West mama, other people that have, you know, had complications, and ultimately it cost them their life, if not being disformed. So you want to listen to your body. You want to do your research on these doctors. You want to make sure that you are comfortable not listening to a Facebook post or Instagram post or YouTuber or a space or Twitter or whoever about this doctor. You need to do your due diligence. And first things first, I'm not against doctors practicing whatever they're trying to learn, because I know they do need to get their hours before they become board certified. So you have to learn from somewhere, but you're just not going to learn on me. You know what I mean? I don't want no one learning on me when it comes to that type of stuff. You can learn on me when it comes to drawing my blood and doing a physical and even a freaking pap smear and a breast exam. But you're not going to experience on me when it comes to this type of surgery or recovering. It is important that you know your body, you know your status before you even embark on this, because you need to know how healthy you are, because anything can happen. And we can't always blame the doctors, as the doctors should have known. Some of them don't give a damn. You need to give a damn about yourself. You need to not be a number to yourself. You know what I mean? And with me, it's just been that constant watching my body, listening to my body, even after the surgery, because the complications that came with it, even after, okay, I took my faja off at 3 months, and then 6 months, you know, I started, and from there I started the waist train, and at 6 months I kind of, you know, maybe 7, 8, 9 months, I started to wean off of the waist training, you know, just to give my body time to just heal on its own without the pressure and constant being tugged. And once I stopped feeling the constant shocks and the burning and the itchiness, that's when I kind of transitioned to stop the compression as much. Now, over the times, I'm not going to show you my body today. I may show it another day, but not today. I just don't feel like it. And then I don't feel like putting on a bathing suit to show and all that other stuff. So I'll show it another time. Hopefully, I'll get to it. I ain't gonna send no video out next week, but maybe the week after or the week after that, I'll figure it out. I just lost my train of thought talking about a bathing suit. I was about to get into the pain that I feel now, 2 years later, or the discomfort that I feel now, 2 years later. I did get a little keloid on my navel, just a little bit from where she stitched back up from the whatever. And then my scars from my down in my pubic area, they're there. I have not been the best as far as the ointments and stuff to try to, eliminate the vision of scarring. But my plan is to have some scar remover type of thing in the future to remove that from my pubic area and in my back where you can see the holes where the holes may have been. I did experience the fluff period, and that's when I saw my butt settle and get softer. And I do feel like when I'm eating right and I'm not stressed out and all that stuff, my butt does grow. My stomach is growing too a little bit though. But not as much, because I was contemplating round 2 and the doctor told me that I didn't have enough fat and that I needed to gain some weight in order to do it. I forgot what I was about to say. My mind is going. I'm getting tired now. I'm getting tired of talking to myself. Excuse me. I'm sorry. The pain that I feel now is a little discomfort. It's like after the pain of the burning and all that stuff, sensation stopped. It stopped, because I don't have that anymore. But I do still feel like the numbness, like sometimes in my butt, I feel like I can't lay on my back for too long before I start feeling discomfort in my butt. I can't lay on my sides too long, and I'm a side sleeper, before I feel discomfort in my butt. I do sometimes feel like my butt is growing. And then when I feel like this tingling sensation. And then when I'm stressed out, because I've had a couple episodes of that where I'm losing weight, I still feel that same tingling feeling. My butt is kind of still discolored in some ways, in some areas. But not like black and blue, but just, you can tell if you stare at it, that okay, it's like, just like how I'm lighter here and darker here. It's kind of the same type of, thing going on. I do have a little cellulite. And I never had it before, but I have it a little bit now. I have little dimples in my butt. But you know what? I am going to do another video on all these things that I'm sitting here talking about, like so I can show you what it is and what you can possibly expect. I do work out every now and again, but I should work out more. I stopped my massages. I did get my massages afterwards for about 3 months after the surgery, and then I really just started focusing on my own massages. But maybe if I would have continued them, I could have built my butt, contoured it a different way. But hey, overall I'm happy with the results, and I don't feel like if I do get more, then it might be too much. So I don't want to risk that, because I am a little woman. But yeah, this is even like now sitting here with my butt, it's like when you sit down now, you see it with the women. That's how you can tell they've had the surgery, because their waist is in, but then their hips kind of come out with the lats, especially if they have the lats and the hips. So they kind of come out on the side. So it's just like, you feel that in your thighs. And then when I sit down, on one of my butt cheeks, it's like it's flat, you know, like, and then the other one is rounded, and this one is kind of like flat, almost. I'll have to show y'all in the next video if I can build up the courage to show y'all, but I am. So yeah, that's what I experience for the most part. I do feel like I have a little bit of fibrosis, but not much like that. It's not like really bad, but you can tell, me at least. I feel like I should have got some arm lipo because, yeah. And then, you know, my breasts are real. So if for those who were wondering, yes, they are real. My mama gave me these. What else? And I wish I kind of would have got some chin lipo, but, you know, maybe. Little stuff like that. And then I do feel like some of the back is uneven, where you feel chunks of could be fat, and then you feel like smooth flat parts. So, and that's the same on my stomach, but more on my back. So I think it's a little bit of uneven lipo there. What else? I do feel like since the surgery, like my blood circulation, but I don't know. I mean, I can't really say. And then I've had some other health issues that I believe is related to the blood transfusion. I'm not going to get into that at all because it's just like, whoa. But I'm dealing with it. And I'm recovering from that. And not the blood transfusion here in the United States. I'm thinking more of the blood transfusion from the DR. But I don't have proof of any of this. So please do not run with, oh, she said, no, I did not. I have no proof of any of this. I'm just telling you what I have experienced since then. My appetite goes up and down. I do feel like when I eat more, then I feel like my weight is put on, and I do feel like my weight goes majority to my butt. I do feel like it rounds out at sometimes. I get attention anyway, so I'm not gonna say I get more attention, but I feel like the men I choose to deal with, because I am a single woman, so don't say when she's saying men like she's a hoe. No, the men I choose to deal with, because I am a single woman, they always want to grab now, where it used to be like, yeah, they would grab, but not like that. Now it's just like they're infatuated with my little booty, because yes, it's a little booty, but it's there. What else I got for y'all? I think that's it for now. I'm sure there'll be some other things that I will think of, but I kind of want to stop this video, and I'm probably going to have to chop it up. I don't know how, you know, what I can do with it, but I just want to kind of just, you know, update y'all on how I'm doing. I'm fine. I am still, you know, living. Nothing really stopped in my life or dramatically changed. I do feel that the surgery the real details about the surgery is not talked about. You know, everybody just want to be the glamour part and post this for likes and clicks and views, but it's not all glamorous. And you do have to watch your weight, and you have to pay attention to your body. So there's a lot that comes with it, and we just got to be focused on that and know that this is something that we're serious about, and that we have the resources to do it, not just doing it because everybody else is doing it. Do it for you, and not someone else. That's what I can say too, because they don't care. They just don't. They don't. They really don't. If it is, you can have all the booty in the world and you're still gonna be lonely. So with that being said, I'm gonna stop this video. If you guys have any questions that you want me to answer, or I didn't clarify, or you felt like I rambled too much, please leave a message on this video. DM me if you like. You can follow me on Instagram at superfly8732. My page is private, but you just send me a message saying, hey, I'm from YouTube, and I will accept your friend request. Otherwise, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Well, like, share this video and subscribe to my channel, Martina the Ultimate Diva. I will try to do better and more content. I've been promising y'all for 2 years that I would try to figure out the editing part. But I'm gonna have some. I'm gonna surprise y'all one day. I'm gonna stick to that. One day you will be surprised, okay? But until then, happy 4th of July, everyone. I hope your family is blessed. You know, you're able to spend this time with them, and please be safe out there with the fireworks. And shout out to Carlisha Hood, you know, the Chicago mother that was, you know, going through what she went through on Father's Day. We believe in you, girl. We girl power, you know, and I just hope you and your family for the best. Until then, y'all, please be blessed. Bye.